Look, we all want to have influence in one aspect of our life, whether it's work or personal, but we're doing it wrong. If we want to become a personal influencer, then we need to do this. Look, is being in relationship with people and being human beings, we are social, relational animals, if you will. And oftentimes we want influence, but we go about it in the wrong way. Oftentimes when people want to influence, they speak over other people. They push their agenda, and that's wrong. The way to do it is through listening. Let's talk about the push approach. Oftentimes it seems very fabricated, and we see it all the time in sales and marketing. Let me give you some examples.
Turn it on, you set it, and you forget it. Over here, I'm part of your life, whether it's 3 o'clock in the morning or noontime.
This is an amazing product. It'll make your life better, easier. All you have to do is set it and forget it. That line was from the famous inventor, Ron Popeil, who started Ronco, right? And there were a lot of things that he entered into with that statement. For example, he might say something like, but wait, there's more. I'll even throw in these paring knives and a cookbook, absolutely free, and only 4 easy payments, less than a cost of a latte every day. But I can only offer you this for the next 30 minutes. Then this offer simply goes away. You see, these are all manipulations, all very well known by the marketing community. First of all, they tell you what an amazing product it is. And well, it might be. And they throw in a few extras. I always find it amusing when they say, we're going to give you this training valued at $997. Is that really the value? Or the interesting conversation that I have with people saying, oh yeah, my training's $10,000, but if you buy it today, I'll give it to you for $49.95. Is it really the value that they say, or do they puff it up a bit? I'm going to guess it's a little inflated, and it's only 4 easy payments of $1,250. I don't know how easy that is for you, but it's a bit of a challenge for most people. That's less than what you spend on a latte every day, assuming that we all drink lattes every day. I know I do, but I don't go to a store to buy the lattes. I don't go to Starbucks or Dutch Brothers or the Human Bean or any of these other places that may be selling coffees. I bought my espresso machine. Saves me money, and I know how to do coffee. And then, of course, lastly, the FOMO, the fear of missing out element. It's only available for the next 30 minutes, and then it goes away. Or then I have to charge you the regular price. These are all manipulations. Certainly, we wouldn't handle our relationships at work or in our personal life like this. So if we want to be a personal influence, then we need to take another approach, not the fabricated push approach, but the genuine pull approach. Let's talk about that. The genuine pull approach starts with a very soft opening, checking in, going up to somebody on your team or your boss or your spouse or a friend and say, hey, how are you doing? How's it going? Are you okay? Wow, what happened? Tell me about it. Go on. What else? This draws people. And when this establishes relationship, rapport, will we share experiences with each other. But the most important thing is listening. Good listeners become the individual who people go to, if for no other reason that they want to share their experience, both good and, well, not so good. There are 8 steps to building rapport. Now, of course, it's very important. Again, this is called the authentic pull. We don't do it with the intent to manipulate somebody. We don't do it with the intent to get something from them. We do it with the intent to build the relationship. So the first step is give them your full attention. Look, people need to know that they're being listened to, and that can't happen if you're on your cell phone or distracted by something else. So square your body to theirs, make eye contact, use nonverbal cues like nodding your head, showing that you understand. You might say, oh, yeah, I get it. These interjections help the person feel more heard, that you understand not just the context of what they're talking about, but also the emotion behind it. And you can paraphrase. So as soon as they make a pause or they stop, so what I'm hearing you say, or I understand that you're concerned that you might lose your job, and that's scary. Simply leave it at that. Paraphrase what you think they're saying or what you're understanding, and then cue into the emotion, and then stop. Less is more when it comes to relationship building. Less talking, more listening. Allow them to elaborate. Yeah, I'm freaked out. This new AI project is going to completely eliminate the need for the copywriting that I'm doing. I understand. Yeah, that is scary. So give them validation, and then ask clarifying questions like, isn't there a way of building prompts where you can give AI direction for writing that script? Maybe the transition isn't losing your job as a scriptwriter, but creating a new one as a prompter for your AI software. Look, it's not that you need to fix the problem, but what you want to do is get them thinking in abundance versus scarcity. You want to do a mind shift with them. Look, Maya Angelou always said, people will forget what you say. People will forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And so when you're in relationship with them and you're having these conversations, the goal is to help them find the opportunity in the challenge, even if it's a growth point that, look, we win sometimes and we learn always. Be sure not to interrupt. Look, don't listen with the intent to reply. Simply listen fully to understand. Now, this has been something that I've brought up in other videos, and I will put a video up above here that goes more into that. But it's really important to focus on emotion. Not necessarily you're going to feel the emotion with them, have a crying session. That's not the case. But they want to feel fully validated. So they need to be intellectually understood, but they also need to be emotionally understood by reflecting back to them the emotion that's coming up for you, that's coming from them. Then they'll say, yeah, or they'll say, well, no, not at all. I'm just not sure what role my job is going to be in. I've been assured that I'm going to keep my job. Oh, well, that's good. Continue on that track. Continue on the track of listening. Try not to judge them. If they're going to think out loud with you, that's a huge openness, level of openness, and you don't want to destroy that by sharing your judgments. You could say, do you think that that's going to lead you to future success? If you have a question around that. But don't sit there and be judgmental. Nobody wants to be judged, and you'll hurt the relationship. You can certainly ask open-ended questions. Tell me, do you have any ideas on how you might be able to respond to the situation? And then allow them to talk and continue to be a great listener. And then there's the, how can I help? Is there anything that I can do for you? Even if you can't, you might be going, huh? Let me tell you a story about even if I can't. So years ago, I had a friend of mine call me up and said, I really need your help. I said, what's going on? He says, well, I'm getting married tomorrow. And, well, my best man went AWOL. And I know we sent you an invitation, but I need you to be my best man. I was like, wow, okay. And you need to have a tuxedo. Try to find something that's dark gray so that you match everybody else. I was like, oh man. And he gave me the phone number of the tuck shop that he was getting things from. And this was on a Friday late. And I called and no answer. So I was like, oh my gosh, do I take the chance of showing up at the tuck shop when they open in the morning? That would give me a half hour, maybe 45 minutes to get a tux, get fitted, walk out the door with it, and make my way to the church on time. That was going to be way too much. So I thought, well, as long as I wear something nice and that it's gray, well, I might as well see if I can find a suit somewhere. And right across the street was Nordstrom's. So I went into Nordstrom's. This was an emergency. I don't ordinarily shop at Nordstrom's, although I have. And I told the sales guy, he came up to me, how can I help? Well, I need this gray suit. Oh, okay. He showed me some gray coats and stuff. And, what color shirt do you want? Well, I think white would probably be best. So he pulled a white shirt and what kind of tie. And we went through the whole routine. And he says, we can have this ready for you by Tuesday. We'll send it to the tailor to get it tailored to, your measurements. And I said, well, that's going to be a bit of a problem because I need the suit for tomorrow. Actually, the reality is that I needed a tux, but the tux shop is already closed. So I said, let me see what I can do for you. And he kind of disappeared around a service wall or something. And I was waiting, and it was probably 10 minutes. And he came back and he handed me this piece of paper. And I'm like, what's this? He said, well, a friend of mine has a tuck shop. They're not far from here. And I called him up and asked if he had a nice gray tuxedo that you could wear. And he does. I sent him your measurements, so he's getting it put together right now. And he promised to stay open late so you could come and pick it up. I was in shock. Well, wait a second. I mean, you spent all this time with me, and then now I'm not going to make a purchase? And he looked at me square in the face and said, sir, my job is to serve the customer. What you needed was a tux, not a suit. I hope that everything works out all right for you. I was blown away. I was really genuinely blown away. And so I told him, I said, look, I like that gray suit. Go ahead and send it to the tailor. I'll pay for it now. And then I'll head over to your friend's tuck shop. And by the way, thanks for saving my skin. And I have gone back several times asking for him each time when I make a purchase. The idea here is, whether it's business or personal, that we are to be in service with another person. If we want full influence, formal or informal. When we listen and we meet the needs of others, the next time they face a challenge, they will come to us for help. And that is powerful influence. Now, look, I know what you might be saying. I'm an introvert. I'm not looking for people to come to me with their problems. But at work, it's part of my job that if anybody on my team has an issue or a problem, I want them to come to me because I might be able to help. And if I can't, I'll help them figure out what we can do to take positive action in some way. And for 35 years, it served me quite well. And I hope it'll serve you too. I want to take a moment to thank James and John for becoming subscribers. Look, a lot of people are viewing the videos, and if you're one of them and you've found a nugget of gold somewhere in these videos, please do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel and put a comment down below in terms of certain topics or challenges that you might have where I can go through my research and provide you with possible solution.